Most people see it as a dip, right? But if you actually think about pec minor, you can actually do some rhomboid type stuff that people are thinking about, but pec minor runs from here down into the ribs. And so instead of worrying about handle direction and stuff, we're actually going to think about the shoulders driving from up and out to down and in. It's not a small range, it looks really tiny in terms of range. But what we're going to think about is shoulders have to come over, right? My handle position, my shoulders come over, and all I'm going to do is worry about trying to think up and out and driving that down. So I'm just going into this. Yeah, I'm using, and it's pec minor underneath, which is like down into the ribs. Okay, does that make sense? So you'd almost feel like you're moving this stack, almost like when you push stuff out of a pool, that sort of pressing out kind of thing. So there's not a tricep in that, is there? There's not a delt in there, is there?
I feel a bit my rhomboid.
Yeah, your rhomboids have to kind of be the other half of this. And then think there, and then you can almost shrug in front of you a little bit. Can you bring them out in front? There. Now they stay in front of you. There. Feel the difference now?
Yeah, now I feel it.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. There. So we're not sneaking behind us at all. And then relax. Good. Okay, so we can put some load on this.
And are you trying to think about coming instead of down, almost more forwards?
Yeah, it's like if somebody did a most muscular, they're trying to pull everything over the top. They were literally coming over the top to bring this collarbone, the acromion has to come down into the ribs, okay? And it's like this weird, wow, I haven't thought about squeezing in there at all. Okay? And then, yeah, hook those legs in there. Is that low enough for you? Yeah. There. And then it's funny to think about this little tiny range of what's when I get that deep contraction there. There you go. There we go.
It's fucking weird. It's weird. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, but the funny part is now he's like, oh, I got access to that. So a lot of people do this as a finisher. They might throw it in at the end. I just think this is a great exercise for the first exercise because you already got this thing that says, oh yeah, I can say that's a helper for everybody else I want to use. It's not enough as a metabolic thing that I'm like, oh, it's got gassed out, right? Any specific pressing last time we've been?
The dumbbells I quite like because I think that's something I would use a lot.
That kind of incline?
I've always liked like a slight incline.
They have this nice, do you like these dumbbells versus the other ones? Okay. That already sets you up for a little more success.
Let's get abs down.
Yeah, they're gonna call that like even narrow or in, another word. And then we're gonna think about this finish and keeping tension constant as opposed to up and down, right? Because we're gonna think about nothing to do with those, everything to do with these, right? So this is really what's moving in space. This is a passenger, this is what's moving. Otherwise it becomes stop, start, rest, like rest here, accelerate, right? So it's all that stuff you can get away with. And if I was gonna help you, I would push in, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So then that doesn't matter with this. It's not dumbbells in, it's arms in, there we go, and then those away. There, last one, elbows done. There you go, better.
Do you think I'm still wanting to come too deep on that?
Yeah, but that's, you've been kind of trained to that. You've been constrained to that. Like, oh, deeper. I'm like, oh, okay, but your elbows stopped getting wider, and then everything else became like, you know, and then
it's a really basic way to think about that is to get to the widest position.
Wider elbows, and then all of a sudden, like, well, that's it. There's no more wider. If I was in a different dimension, whatever, it's like, well, there it is. It's still wider. That's my wider, his wider, their wider, whatever. But at that point on, it's like, this is still pulling in. Everybody sees up and down, but this is still pulling across. So I'm thinking, why would the word up and down help me with thing that runs across? There, see, it's already ready, right? It's already ready. There, just there, there. Yeah, there you go. Just change the direction. There you go. I won't even use the word accelerate. I'll just say stay, stop, dead. There you go. And there, one more. There, change direction. In, good. One more, out, in. Yes, good, down. Or pick exercise where they're not supposed to move the shoulder blade and then wonder, why do I have shitty shoulders? Well, you bench press all the time. Like, so every person that bench press has shitty shoulders. well, no, but, oh, I'm using bench press technique in everything else. And it's like, oh, that's a disaster, right? Does that make sense? That was a good weight.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good weight where you start to be able to just pick out these stupid partial rep things where you have to start, stop, and you can see how you didn't accelerate. It's just that point where you're just like, I want to go a little faster. I want to go a little faster. And if you can just manage that, just like a hair slower versus a hair faster saves energy. It's almost that walking a little slower than you should. You know, that to me is where you start seeing this like, oh, that's really annoying. I'm starting to burn out, right? And there's like, otherwise you're picking up weights that are up in the 5 rep range, and I'm like, okay, but if you want to do it, cool. But again, that 8, 10, 12 range to me is like where you can just sit in there and gas stuff out.
That sort of tempo.
Yeah, that kind of tempo. And then eventually, yes, you'll get stronger. The weights will be heavier, but the range sits in that 8 to 12 range that always, like, if I'm going above that, it's too light. If I'm going too low, that it might be too heavy, and I start wanting to change something to deal with the load. Yeah, I need you to gas the set out rep by rep, as opposed to, man, an hour from now, I'm going to be tired. It's like, oh. All that sort of micro movement stuff is really challenging. Good. Now I'm going to start stopping you now. There. There. Good. There. Pulling it around the corner. Pulling it around the corner. Yes! Oh, really good. Pulling it around the corner. Pulling it around the corner. Pulling it in. In. You got it. Better. Nice job. You always know when they put the weights away that we're done with that exercise. When we're like, and we're done. Okay, we're moving on. Yeah.
The pecs there, it's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah, like just you haven't felt that much like squeeze, yeah. And all of a sudden we get a nice bookshelf right here for everything, right? So that's great. We can come across. Now what happens when we come here though, the shoulder blade has to come out. Does that make sense to you, right?
Out and around.
Yeah, because this is an exercise we picked where that shoulder blade better be coming. For this to go over here, this has got to come around here. Shoulder blade. Yeah, there you go. Yep. There, good job. Not here. Here you go. There. There you go. Yeah.
Fire.
So now pec minor has to be part of that again, right? It's like,
Yeah, that's what I feel straight away.
oh wow, I'm not used to I'm used to finishing, especially when you do doubles. There's no room for that. So it almost is that shoulder blade back. Now it's like my shoulder blade's gotta go over there for this to keep coming around. And I'm past zero here. I'm like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden, oh, I can get this big sheet of muscle pop right off of that, okay? And then this is gonna come with, right? You got room, you got room, you got room. There. This is literally coming right to you. Yes. Done. Good, good. Yes. Don't be afraid to follow your bicep in. Follow your bicep in. Follow your bicep in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so right from the start, I can see this is what has to pick that up, right? And so it's literally pulling across. Yeah, look at that thing. Goodness gracious. You're training with no shirt on soon. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yep. Through here. There. This. Done. There. Yeah, there you go. It's really just out again, isn't it? It's not really backwards. Yeah, it's just wide and back across. Yeah, there it is. See, it's just like letting that go, pulling back through. There you go. Yeah, you got it now. Oh, those are hurting. There you go. Open and close again. Look at that. You know when the hair's shaking. Yes, brother. Good job.
Alarm cable machine. Like if you were seated, it comes.
Is at some point that cable's going to line up as 0. So if you had to, you'd have to pick out like.
Pivot round.
Yeah. So you might say I might pick out a small range and have the cable there, and I'm going to be, it's trying to rip me open. I just won't go very far back, and then I move my seat to the cable. Now I'm in the middle. Now I move the seat. Now I'm in the back. But I just can't make all 3 happen together. But it's worth it. It's just gonna feel like they feel like he's doing all these partials. I'm like, well, that's just the angle that I picked. If it's back here, it's wrapped around through my body and I'm not getting much out of it, right?
Finish trying both?
Yeah, sure. Because this is going to be our pec deck exercise today, so there you go. There you go. And you'd think if I brought you in here, that would be easier.
It's almost taking you wider.
Yeah. There we go. You just don't have as much range, but it's still a deep position. You see how it's just elbow path now. There you go. And all these come right at each other. Elbow path, elbow path. There we go. Yeah, through, half range, there. There we go. And then just elbows, elbows, elbows. There you go, good job. Your pec is attached right here. Your, like long head of this is right here in this groove. Pec is right there. So if you said where my bicep is a pretty good marker where my pec is coming across, and you point this up, this is still shortened, but you just rolled that away.
It's funny, when you said that, I tried to look at like the vein in my bicep as the point to try and pull it across almost up from there.
Look at that big old thing coming right across. It's like perfect, great. So, but when I finish, as I get through here, as I finish, I would be like, oh, I'm done. It's like, well, no, I can straighten my elbows and this handle can come with me. Now what people do though, then they want to keep that straight. It's like, no, that has to come back with me. So that perpendicular. So as mine changes, that perpendicular changes and that comes back out. So that's like, at the start, I'll feel like I'm going that way. So I don't know, fly press, maybe kind of something. Press fly, maybe if I say it backwards. But remember that's, yeah, so I'm following this right through that. So there's my perpendicular there.
With this, do you think the same of trying to grip through your fingers out of interest? Yeah. Rather than that.
So you can play with it. I'm not so fascinated with that because the thing's not trying to torque around. So this should feel like you get it right from the start. Because this is that same thing we just got coming right through, right? So if I helped you, I'd be pushing through the forearm, which is not up, it's in, through, there we go, good. So this is like the dumbbell and the row and the stupid exercise we just did, where these are coming across. Yes, good. You got it. There, in, yes. So these are helping. There you go. Yep, cross chest, yes. There you go, bud, really good. Yep, in. There, you got it, good. So you feel all the stuff we've done is like almost right there. Right?
It's like a combination of everything stacked together.
Like fly, and it's like the dumbbell thing and everything into one, and then this is like, oh, all into the same exercise. But this angle thing mattered over there, and the elbow path mattered. It's like, oh yeah, that's across. Yeah, because it's not going, like right from the start, it's coming there, right? Whereas a bench press, we're like, well, it looks like it's going forward, and maybe I get that. I never get this, right? So it's like, oh, that's definitely not going. Oh yeah. Crap, that feels terrible, right? It's like, oh, there's that in. It's angled right at it, yeah. So it's, and now if I said I pointed it down, it would be, oh, yeah, that's a pec thing we did. Yeah, that coming across feeling. Let's just follow the elbow. See, the elbows, yes, that's out and in. Oh, great finish. Without losing the abs, that's great. That's great. Keep the abs in the way. Yeah, there it is, good. Good. You got it. Through, cross, squeeze in, yes. Yeah, boy. Yeah, hard as it. Hard as you want to make it hard.
Yeah, it's fucking much harder than it looks. Try and get arms as big as you, or as big as James.
Yep, so there's our finish. Elbows are straight, biceps are facing back this way. That's external, so that'll look like they widen out, that's fine. But this is like
it almost feels like I've turned.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
this is right.
Yeah, that's fine. And these are gonna go this way. There you go.
Just to maintain that, and then.
Yep. And then they're coming all the way around. I don't care about way down there. This is as heavy as I can make it. Hold on now. This right here, bend. There, that's as heavy as I can get it. I'm gonna sit on those, you might be in some trouble, right?
So not
there.
have to go any deeper than
Nope, don't have to go deeper than 90 degrees. Because this is all coming this way. There we go. These guys are pulling this way, but this is pulling this way. Drive those shoulders away. Good. You stay right here like posts. There, so your target is over there.
Forwards.
Yep.
And almost like pivot the hands over there.
Yeah. There you go. See how we're going around that way. There we go. Good, last one.
That's insane. That, I feel that really high here through my tricep. Well, I never feel that, like there, like that portion.
Yeah, like a big old tricep hanging out there, right? Like way up back here, right? For you actually have to push.
So for me, that almost feels like externally rotating a bit.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be as much as you can. There you go. But that's external rotation of the upper arm, and the hands are passengers of that. There you go. And then it's just 90. Done. Good. Think towards me. I'm back here somewhere. I'm back here somewhere. And then away from me, I'm over there, James, to James. Right at the camera, there. Shoulders go forward. There you go. You got it. Try to hit the cameraman, it's really important.
That kicks in really fast. Am I still trying to come too deep a little bit?
Oh, yeah, it's just a little. So almost everybody is gonna be like, there's my bicep facing front again, not internal rotation and press, right? So from here, if I said, here's my straight, I'm gonna move over, depending on how much external rotation I have, and I'm gonna go, I'm just going straight again. But the cable, I move to the cable, not, does that make sense?
Yeah. You move to get the cable in the same place.
Go out here, it's gonna get a little crazy because I don't have that much, but I'm still trying to maintain straight. What people will do is then do this. I'm like, well, now you're in the same position you just were, right? Because this is gonna follow you wherever you go. So we're not actually turning out, we're actually, that's still straight. So that just ends up wider. Not because you...
You're almost thinking the hand out.
Yeah, but
Also, almost similar as the hammer curl where I'm trying to bring the dumbbell outside.
Same kind of carry angle thing, whether in bicep or it's gonna feel like a little WY kind of thing. There you go. And then we're just gonna put all our attention in keeping this straight where it is. See, it doesn't have to go down, it just stays straight, right? There you go. There you go. So that's just the path of your carry angle. Make sense, right? It's not out, it's actually just...
Where your elbow down.
Yeah. So you're just guarding that to face that way. There, feel that's different? There you go. There. And then
Yeah, I see how you want to turn, I want to rotate then, don't I, straight away.
There you go. You feel that challenge there now? See the hand wanted to take over, and that's a more common one for you, I think. There you go. You might feel some different head dominant stuff here because you changed the challenge to shoulder. There you go. One more. Hold that. Come on over. Come on over. There you go. Now your job is to stay here where you were. Straighten your feet. Your job is to stay there. There you go. Yeah, that's how fast you sneak back to there. There you go. There you go. You feel the difference now? There you go. So you feel how you could play with some of these guys relative to delt challenge. Triceps, help, help, help. There. Okay, so some of that is just like...
I want to finish like that.
Yeah, you want to drop in and finish over. As opposed
I need to let that drive the wrist back rather than drive the hand back.
I have to shorten these, right? So I'll shorten that to get more of that, as opposed to, oh, I'm starting to want to get in that. I can't straighten my elbows. Like, well, straighten your elbow. There. Okay. So just a little playing with that wrist stuff, totally different thing. Okay, so then let's use them as both. Hold this position. We're gonna eventually back up here until you feel like that's it. I can't hold any more than that. This is going to be the shortest rep you have. Then when we finish here, You're gonna walk it in. Feel like, okay, I can still finish that. It's gonna be a little longer. You're gonna walk it in. I can get a little longer. I'm gonna walk it in. I can get a little longest. Got it? And then this is still facing front. Straighten your arms. Now back up and feel when you feel you're done. There, okay? So we need to know what the heaviest position feels like, and then back to that heavy position. There you go. That's definitely not a lot of up, is it? There you go. There, good. So that's really just straight forward, wide to wider. So you're not actually pushing out, it's just the way the path of the elbow goes. Now we have a piece of equipment that can come with you. There you go. There. Walk forward till you straighten your arms. Straighten your arms. Yeah, no, straighten your arms one more. Walk forward one little more bit. There, hold that. Now it's gonna feel a little wide, a little longer than it was, but you still have to think about backwards. There's a little more upwards involved now, so a little more range. Good, using our legs. Good, using our legs. Standing up, there, good. Walk forward, straighten your arms. Straighten your arms, straight, turn, straighten your arms. That's it, we're done, okay. So you see I can skew the load through my elbow, then I can hold it versus, oh, the elbow, I have to guard the hinge, yeah. I have to guard the hinge, okay? Does that make sense? So that keeping that hinge there, and then you could wiggle the way all you want. But you see how it's like, well, if I had the elbows this way, I can back up a lot, but it's on my back. It's not on my elbows. It's not on my elbows hinging. So it's not on tricep. It's on like side through the elbow, which is what people are trashing when their path is that way, elbows going that way, and it's like they're taking lots of load, but it's going sideways through the elbow. So all that extra load they seem to be able to do is sideways through the elbow, forearm, and not really going through the tricep anyway. So you have to just think, oh, I got to guard the direction of the hinge from the shoulder, not from the hand, right? This is what all of us learned in gym class. This is where sit-up starts. I'm like, this is as heavy as it possibly could ever be. So whether you get all the way that back, I don't care. But you're nice and strong, so we're going to think about, I need you to drive that backwards. Does that make sense?
As soon as you do that.
Yeah, ta-da! Now, the whole goal is not the sit-up, because there's lots of ways you can sit up. The whole goal is the push back.
Drive your spine back.
Yeah, drive your spine backwards. Now what have you got to use? Right now, these are all spraying out like this. So we've been talking about kind of engaging these side guys. Now they come in from the side, and the external obliques easily run this way, but they're all kind of going down to the party zone down there, okay? Everybody's heading down that way. But they're wrapping around from up here all the way down. But they wrap around from the sides, and they actually would keep pulling to help pull you that way. Does that make sense? But they'd also lay you down without letting go. Yeah, there you go. Without letting go, they'd end up lengthening, but they wouldn't let go.
Open.
Yeah, so we're gonna push the whole time. There you go. Side, narrows, narrows. There. There you go. There's the face. And they make the face like they swallowed a bug. Then you know you got it. There you go. There, that's the face. There, narrow. There, there. See, it's easy to let it go. Almost everybody tells you, here's your magic abs, and it's like, where's this? Oh, so I'm gonna stop you where I think you're done. There. There you go. Narrow. There, yeah, there you go. Guys, even if I said hold here, keep tension on that. Now keep tension on that as you come back. That's just long, that's not rest. There you go. Remember, it's heavier back here, it's shorter there. It's just hard two different ways. Attaboy. Good. I'm gonna drive that backwards. Good. So use all of that, all of this to push. There we go. Push, push, there. Again, I'm back here. How would you get me out of the way? There you go. Good. You'd have to push backwards. Good. Now watch when you get down there. Remember, this is long, not out. No. Ah, there you go. Good. One more. There, there. Drive backwards. Drive back. Yeah, there you go. Even if you had to do a single.
These are not let off at the bottom.
Yeah, at the bottom, you're like, oh, let go.
My rib cage flaring open, right?
Yeah, it just turns into, oh, I can rest there, and then I'm gonna speed up because I got these big legs I have to whip. So it's literally this like, oh, not how do I get my legs up? It's how do I drive backwards? And the legs are the response. And then there, yes, really good. Yep, drive, drive, good. Drive it backwards. Good. Drive that backwards. Yep, 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 yep. Drive it backwards. Yes. There, 4 or 5 reps. But like really good 4 or 5 reps. And then that's trackable. If you have 4 or 5 reps that are like, well, I don't know, 2 were good and some of them were, they go, man, I'm doing 8 and still 2 were good and now 6 were shit. And then I'm doing 10, like 2 were good and 8 were shit. It's like, I'm getting stronger. Like, no, you're not.
Okay, so that's a wrap with Eric. I think that's the 3rd chest session we've done. So if you haven't already, go out and check out the other 2 videos. So there's tons of knowledge, tons of insights on that. Eric's also been on my podcast as well. So if you head over and check out the Shredded Show, this was probably about 3 years ago that I had Eric on. And it's insane how things work. And I've now come to Toronto 3 years later and got trained with him in person for like 5 or 6 sessions, which is really, really blessed and grateful because I've learned tons and tons of knowledge, which then I can pass on to you guys. James behind the camera has learned some cool shit. And there's some insane content, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, for you guys to fill in and check out as well. So if you found this helpful, I want to ask you, share this with a friend, hit the like button, drop a comment below, hit subscribe. And if you need help with your own fitness journey, there's a link below the video. You can book in a free strategy call, and we'll see you next video coming very soon.